marketplace fell silent as coins scattered across the stone floor. A lone figure stood amid the disruption, declaring, "My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." Just one day earlier, this same man had been welcomed with joyous celebration. How did Jesus move from triumph to such confrontation in just 24 hours? The gasps of onlookers punctuated this dramatic shift. Jesus' journey from Palm Sunday to Monday's temple cleansing reveals a crucial pattern that explains his entire mission. In the next few minutes, we'll unveil the prophetic symbolism behind his donkey ride, the meaning of the crowd's palm branches, and why these two events together tell us exactly who Jesus claimed to be. What if an ancient prophecy, written centuries earlier, predicted exactly how the Messiah would enter Jerusalem? 500 years before Jesus was born, the prophet Zechariah painted a remarkable picture. "Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Shout, daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey." As Jesus approached Jerusalem during Passover, the city was transformed. During Passover, Jerusalem swelled with pilgrims from across the region. The city, normally home to tens of thousands, would transform into a bustling hub as Jewish people traveled from near and far to celebrate the festival, filling every available space and turning the streets into a sea of anticipation. Jesus gave his disciples specific instructions. Go to a nearby village where they would find a donkey and her colt tied up, waiting. The disciples likely wondered at this choice. Their teacher, believed by many to be the promised Messiah, chose a humble donkey rather than walking or selecting a majestic warhorse. Why? In the ancient Near East, this choice carried profound symbolism. Kings rode horses when heading to war, displaying military might, while a king on a donkey signaled peace. Through this simple choice, Jesus simultaneously fulfilled prophecy and declared the true nature of his kingship. As Jesus descended the Mount of Olives, the crowds created what resembled an ancient royal welcome. They spread cloaks on the road and cut palm branches, symbols deeply associated with Jewish victory and triumph, forming a living carpet for this humble king. Their shouts revealed the moment's deeper significance. "Hosanna," they cried, a term meaning both praise and save now. What did the crowd truly seek in this moment? Their cries blended celebration with a plea for deliverance from Roman occupation. They recognized something revolutionary was happening, though they misunderstood the revolution Jesus brought. The religious authorities watched with alarm. This public acceptance of messianic titles threatened their carefully balanced relationship with Roman authorities. Jesus was allowing himself to be proclaimed as king, a dangerous political statement. The religious authorities who had witnessed Jesus' provocative entrance were about to face an even more direct confrontation. Within hours, the humble king riding on a donkey would transform into a bold defender of sacred space, challenging the very heart of Jerusalem's religious establishment. The morning after his celebrated entry, Jesus returned to the temple complex. What he found in the court of Gentiles was far from the house of prayer it was intended to be. This outer courtyard, the only area where non-Jews could come to worship, had become a chaotic marketplace, where anxious pilgrims navigated through bleeding animals, clinking coins, and shouting merchants. This wasn't mere inconvenience, but profound spiritual injustice. The temple system required pilgrims to purchase approved sacrificial animals and exchange foreign money, bearing pagan emperors' images for temple currency. These exchanges often exploited the poorest worshippers, while simultaneously preventing Gentiles from having a space for genuine prayer. Like a cleansing storm sweeping through corrupted space, Jesus fashioned a whip of cords and drove out the merchants and money changers, overturning their tables and scattering coins across the stone floor. Invoking ancient prophecy, he declared, "My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." This wasn't a momentary outburst, but a deliberate prophetic action reminiscent of Jeremiah, who had performed symbolic acts to signify judgment against Israel's unfaithfulness. His den of robbers pronouncement connected his actions to prophetic traditions that resonated deeply with Jewish observers. The timing heightened the impact. During Passover, Jerusalem was filled with pilgrims and political tensions ran high. His claim of divine authority, referring to the temple as "my Father's house," intensified the confrontation. With the merchants gone, Matthew records that the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them, those often excluded now welcomed by Jesus. The journey we've traced from triumph to confrontation illuminates Jesus' ultimate purpose. While his entry and temple actions were powerful, they merely foreshadowed the culmination of his mission. Days after these events, as Jesus died on the cross, the massive temple veil, that barrier separating humanity from God's holy presence, tore from top to bottom. This supernatural event perfectly fulfilled what his temple cleansing symbolized, removing obstacles between us and God. And stay tuned for more about that in the coming weeks. His sacrifice eliminated the need for temple rituals and animal sacrifices. Where barriers once stood, Jesus created a direct path to the divine. What obstructions exist in your heart today? The Palm Sunday story challenges us to allow Jesus to clear whatever prevents genuine worship in our lives, just as he cleared the temple.